What do you remember of Rennie when he was small?
When he was small?
When he was a child.
Oh. Well, I was thinking, I was looking out the window here, and there was a lot across the street, and there was a creek. And Rennie always played with black kids. I mean, there were lots, there wasn't a lot of fuss between. We had them at everything that we gave in the backyard and things like that. And Rennie used to come over here and they'd swing on the trees, remember that? But they'd swish through the creek. So of course he'd come home muddy. And I'd be yelling, "Don't you come in the house. You go right to the basement and get in the shower." But he had a lot of friends. And I can remember he brought one boy home and he said, it was the World Series, and a black boy, and he said, "Hey, look at colored television." He was of that generation that they didn't see color, you know what I mean? And
what do you remember about Jim when he was small?
Jim has always got something going. He's inventing, or he's taking, he took a whole car apart down in that basement. You know how small it was. And put it back together. This is before he had a license. You know what I mean? And I can remember there was an explosion over in Maplewood, and him running up the stairs and saying, "I didn't do anything, Mom. I didn't do it." And he's still that way. A teacher said about him, he'll never be bored because he just goes home. Now it's fishing and
skiing,
taking care of his trailer, and he had a sailboat for years up in Boston.
Right.
Always has toys, and he's still that way.
How about John?
John has always been my heart, you know what I mean? John is, you could count on John. If he said, "I'll be home at 8:05, he'd be home at 8:05.
Really?
You could count on John no matter, there was no blacks and whites. I mean, it was either on or off. I mean, he just, even his father, at the end of his life, his father looked at him and he said, "He's one of the finest people I know."